extended knee in the third quarter and would not return as the Hawks went on to win Game 4 and even the series. The two-time MVP is set to get imaging done on the knee today as his status for Game 5 in Milwaukee is currently unknown. Fox Sports NBA analyst Chris Broussard joining us now. Chris, I know you said it right before. We don't need any more injuries, but that's the reality right now. What is your prediction for the rest of the series?
Well, going in, I have Milwaukee in 6. If Giannis can come back and play, and, seeing him walk a little bit last night, even coming out like he might re-enter the game at one point, that hopefully is a positive sign. If he comes back and can be 85 to 90% of himself, then I'm going to stick with the Bucks, despite them being frustrating, at times in the first half of that game last night. If Giannis is out, then I'm with Atlanta, Trae Young or not. And obviously, I believe they have a better chance of winning if Trae Young plays. If Giannis is not there, he's the only star left in the East. And if you want to say, well, Chris Middleton's an all-star, Drew Holiday's an all-star one time, I would say, okay, Trae is the only player with superstar potential or with superstar ability that's still in the Eastern Conference, which is obviously very rare. So, but even without Trae, I'm going with Atlanta. So if Giannis and Trae are both out the rest of the series, I'm with the Hawks. And you might say, well, wow, Middleton and Drew Holiday. Yeah, on paper, you might look at the names and go with Milwaukee. But I trust Atlanta's players more. I really do. I think they're mentally tougher. Maybe a lot of it has to do with Nate McMillan. But they come out and they play hard and they play with ferocity and they play at their typical level pretty much every night in the playoffs. Like even last night when Giannis goes down, there was no letdown. In fact, they ratcheted it up and said, let's put the foot on the throat. All right, as sad as they were to see him injured, let's put the foot on the throat. We've seen Milwaukee already twice in this series come out lackadaisical. Game 1, looked like they're taking Atlanta lightly. Game 4, Trae's out. We got this. Like, had they had the lead that they should have had in the first half, maybe they could have held on, even with Giannis being hurt. So I just trust Atlanta more. And look, I think John Collins, I know he didn't have a big game last night, but I think he's one of the more underrated players in the league. Bogdanovich, Herter, Danilo. I've always liked Gallinari. He just couldn't stay healthy. So I like him and Capella. So, and here's the other thing. Nate McMillan is doing a phenomenal job coaching. He's out-coached. He's a better coach than Budenholzer. So I think he makes better adjustments between games. He makes better adjustments in games. And he's been able to get his guys mentally ready and motivated better than Budenholzer has. So there's an advantage there. Chris Middleton, I doubt any of you guys were surprised either by what he did last night, right? I mean, this is what he is. Great game, poor game. Great game, poor game, poor game. Great game, poor game. That's what he does. And he did that with Giannis. With Giannis drawing double teams, with Giannis scoring in the post or in the paint, with Giannis drawing the attention of the defense and loosening things up for Middleton, he's still up and down. What's he going to look like without Giannis? I want to see. I think there's the most pressure now without Giannis is on Chris Middleton on both teams. Trae Young's too young. Nobody's going to hold anything against him. Chris Middleton, let's see what you're made of. All right? Can you be great? Can you lead a team by yourself as the league? And I'm not saying lead them past Durant, lead them past LeBron, lead them past, even Chris Paul at this point. Lead them past a young Atlanta team that doesn't even have its best player. All right, can you do that? So this is going to be really interesting to see what these second-level guys are made of. But right now, I trust Atlanta, so I'm going with them if Giannis is out.
I agree with you, Chris. And if you think about it, you see the difference? Atlanta says, oh, y'all down, y'all superstar. We about to beat the hell out y'all now. And you see Milwaukee, they come out there, oh, y'all down with y'all superstar. Y'all can't beat us. Don't you wish the way the Bucks came out in the third quarter, Chris, getting the ball to the basket, Giannis trying to dunk on everybody, Holiday putting the ball behind his back, Chris Middleton trying to get to the paint? Don't you wish they'd have came out like that the first half? No, they came out, oh, man, y'all can't beat us without Trey. Man, you see them go, Bogdanovich struggling, Herter is, no. And guess what? Now you're down, you find yourself down 13 at the half. Giannis goes down midway through the third quarter, and then they go and take go on a 10-0 run and blow the game wide open. That's the way you're supposed to play the game. Boo knows, for whatever reason, I don't know what's in Milwaukee. I don't know why they think they need to shoot threes. I've never seen a team can get whatever they want in the paint, can get to the paint. They got three guys that can get in the paint at any given time, and they jack up three after three after three. Giannis, before he got hurt, he had airball 2 free throws, and he said, you know what? The way I'm going to combat this and show y'all I can shoot, I'm going to let these threes go. Bruh, you terrible at shooting threes. There's a reason why they let y'all shoot them. You think they run, and the thing is, they don't even try to chase y'all off the three-point line. They're like, nah, don't chase them off that. Let them stay right there, because I already know what's going to happen. Brick, brick, brick. What did they shoot last night from the three? 8 of 39. They shooting 29% from the three. And somehow there's like the objective.
That's 20%.
No, I'm saying they shooting for the series.
Yeah, for the series.
They shot 20% for the series. I mean, for last night.
8 of 39.
8 of 39. So I guess they're thinking, Chris, if we shoot more, at some point in time, we're going to make more. Yeah, you shoot 53s and you make 13. You still haven't accomplished anything, Bucks. Yeah, they just play dumb basketball. And I guess because the basketball coach in basketball, they don't yell. But I would tell a guy, the next guy, because in football, Skip, the next guy that jumps offside, coach would tell you, you'll have your ass over here with me. Or the next guy commit a penalty. In basketball, I would tell them, the next guy that shoots a three, you're going to come sit with me. And it's going to be hard for you to shoot a three from the bench. Because this is ridiculous. The Sixers team, they're showing that they belong here. But the Bucks did not show up last night to play. And there's no guarantee. Had they shown up, that they would have beat the Hawks. But this right here, you got exactly what you deserve.
Okay, you picked them.
I picked them. Yeah, that's me. I don't fault them. I fault me. I'm the dummy for picking them. And I don't blame the Bucks. I'm the dummy for picking them.
Okay, I didn't pick them. I picked the Hawks in 6. I'm sticking with Hawks in 6. And as much as I hated to see Giannis go down, I'm going to say it one more time. I just don't trust him, even when he's 1,000% healthy.
Right.
I just don't believe in him as a superstar, as a player who can carry a team to a championship. I'm watching the first half. The crowd's getting in his head, speeding up his count, the free throw line. And he shoots in the first half alone 2 air balls from the free throw line. And then to Shannon's point earlier in the show, then he had the audacity shooting free throw air balls to think he could shoot 3-point shots, and he shoots an even worse air ball from 3. And I'm saying, what are you doing? Plus, he came out low energy. They just thought they had it, and he scored a grand total of 6 points in the first half. Then he comes out in the third quarter, and he actually started to say, okay, I'm going to take it to the rack. And he scored 4 quick baskets, and they kind of got back in the game. They were down. They cut it back to 10 at that point. And then, very unfortunately, he got hurt. I have no idea. I agree with the point. He did look like he was walking fair, and then he came back out like, I want to go back in, coach. And then the balloons to 20, and he said, okay, I'm going back to the locker room. I have no idea how healthy he will be. But I will say this about the Hawks. They look pretty good without Trae Young.
Yeah.
I got to say, and I'm not saying they're better off without Trae. I enjoyed it. It was pleasing to my eye that Trae Young wasn't dominating the basketball. And I look at the assists, and all of a sudden Trae's 20 assists get spread out to Kevin Huerter. He's a pretty good player. He had 7. And guess who? Lou Williams, the old man Lou Williams, came in, and he had 8 assists to go along with his 21 points.
Well, he had a towel on the sideline to get that lemon pepper sauce on his hand.
Okay, I forgot about that.
The ball wasn't slipping last night.
Well, I've never forgiven him for that. And guess who?
Know where he went after the game, Shannon.
But that was just for the chicken, right?
Yeah, just for the chicken. Okay. It's right around the corner, too, Skip. They ain't nowhere. Hop skipping. Actually, he could walk.
Well, it's named for him on the menu, right?
It is.
And Bogdanovich had 5 assists. So I just gave you 20 assists came from 3 other guys who don't do that.
Don't normally handle the ball.
And so I liked how it felt, and the scoring got spread out. And then I've said this on this show many times before. I love Cam Reddish. He is an NBA player to me, and at Duke, he took and made a bunch of big shots, including a walk-off at Florida State one Saturday afternoon. Yep. And he's just getting his legs back underneath him. He's coming off an Achilles issue, and he made 5 of 9 shots and really gave them a spark where on defense he was disrupting because he's long and strong, man. So all of a sudden, I liked what I saw. So I don't know if Trae Young can go in Game 5, but I don't care. I'm sticking with the Hawks to win 5 and 6 and end this and put Milwaukee out of its misery.
I mean, you look at the first quarter, Chris and Skip. Giannis is 0-2. Chris Middleton's 1 of 6.
I think Holiday is first ever playoff quarter without a point. I believe it was.
That shows me you didn't take this game serious.
Nope.
You thought Atlanta was going to come over there, come out because they're without their best player and just lay down and say, man, you know what? We got it. They had every excuse. Man, they ain't got no Trae. That's why I commend Nate McMillan. I commend Ty Lue. Because without their best players, they still going to give you everything they got.
They do.
They make no excuses. Ain't no excuse why we can't play hard. We might not win, but there's no excuse for not playing hard because our best player. Our best player should determine how hard we play. We should play hard, and having a best player gives us a better chance of winning. But this right here, Chris Middleton and Holiday, 12 or 34, again, they've been shooting terrible. Chris Middleton, one game, I already know one game, he going to go lights out. He going to light you up. Next game, he going to come back. I said he going to give you 15. He got one more. He made me into a lie. But I don't fault them. I fault me. I kicked my own ass for picking them.
What you seeing with the Hawks, I mean, and Nate McMillan did this from jump. But even still with Trae, you know, he's got the ball. Like you said, Skip, he dominates the ball to some degree. He's the best player. But without him, they play 5-man basketball.
They do.
And 5-man basketball is more effective, and I think it'll beat the typical basketball that we play today. High pick and roll, drive and kick. It's almost like 2-man ball. And that's why Golden State was so great, even before Kevin Durant, right? Because they played 5-man basketball. The roster didn't blow you away, and San Antonio was always so good, even when Duncan got old, because they played 5-man basketball, and that's what Atlanta did. And to your point, Shannon, about the threes, that's the analytics. That's these guys relying too much on analytics. That's all it is. And they will never forsake the three, no matter how many they're missing, no matter how much damage they could do inside, because of what the analytics say. Skip, you remember Brook Lopez? He used to be a low post scorer.
He was.
He would average 20 points a game as a low post scorer.
At Brooklyn,
now he hardly ever goes down low. And so they're not even looking. They think the analytics say the post shot is a bad shot analytically. It just doesn't make sense mathematically. And I don't agree, but that's what the Bucks are going off of.
So Chris, my man across the table here, Mr. Sharp, he finally found a loophole through which he could backtrack and get back on the Hawks bandwagon so he can go home again to Atlanta.
Hey, Chris, guess where the Bucks
look, I'm Shannon. I'm sticking with, if Giannis is in uniform, stick with the Bucks. Stick with the Bucks if he's in uniform.
Because the Bucks and the analytics department is about to be home. Because the Bucks keep listening to the analytics department, and the analytics department keep feeding them some bull jive. So no, both of those guys are about to be home, and we're gonna be able. Hey, you know what? We covered Undisputed coming on the road. We're going to be at Magic City in about a week.
Yeah. Are you going to make that happen?
Yeah, we make it happen. I know Magic. I get Magic up right now.
I'm actually fine with that. Skip,
but if we're there at 9:30 in the morning, nobody's going to be there.
That's what you don't want nobody there. You don't want nobody there. You don't want nobody there. We just have a good old time, have a nice little crowd.
Okay.
You know, nice little
Actually,
crowd.
I can't believe I'm supporting this. I take it back. I take back what I just said. I'm going to stay right here in LA. Well, tomorrow night's Game 5 is featured on the free-to-play Fox Bet Super 6 app. So download the app and answer 6 questions about that pivotal game for your shot to win $1,000. But moving back to the Western Conference, will the Clippers force a Game 7 tonight? That's next.